ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Art with Mrs. Beaufeaux. Today we're going to create a really neat image using the art concept of watercolor and wax crayon resist. We're going to be creating some secret images, and we're going to be focusing on some shapes that have to do with a specific saint that we celebrate every March. Let's get started. The saint that we're talking about is St. Patrick. St. Patrick's feast day is March 17th every year. St. Patrick was born in the late 4th century in Britannia, which is modern-day England. He was kidnapped by pirates at the age of 16 and taken to the island of Ireland, where he was sold into slavery. While enslaved, St. Patrick herded sheep in almost total isolation. His faith grew during these hard days alone with almost no contact with other humans. After being visited by an angel in his dreams, he escaped his imprisonment and walked over 200 miles to a port where a cargo ship was heading back to Europe. After celebrating his return to his homeland, he chose the life of a religious person. He was ordained as a deacon around 418 AD. And in 432 AD, consecrated as a bishop and given the name Patricus. It is said that he heard the voices of Irish people calling to him in his dreams, so he sailed back to Ireland to preach about his Catholic faith. He taught about the Holy Trinity using the clover, a three-leafed piece of greenery found all over the world. Just as there are three persons in one, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, there are three leaves that make up a clover. He was also said to have performed a miracle, driving all of the snakes from the island of Ireland by banging his staff on the ground. Although brought to Ireland originally against his will, the teenager went on to become Ireland's patron saint. Get to our project. Starting on the back of our paper, we're going to write our name, date, and class. Today is 3-3-21. This is a first grade level project. Art process we'll be using today is called resist. It's the process in which two art materials repel one another. We're going to start off using a wax crayon, coloring on a piece of paper, creating a secret image using different shapes that might remind us of the story of St. Patrick. I want to see if you can guess what I'm coloring with white crayon on this image. After I'm all the way done, remembering that I'm pressing down really hard with this white crayon, I'm going to go over it with my watercolor paints using Analogous Colors. Let's have a reminder. What are analogous colors? Analogous colors are colors that are next to one another on the color wheel or in the rainbow. So today, the colors that I'm using are going to be shades of green and yellow. So I have a light green, a medium green, a dark green, and a yellow. Take some time to prepare your paints today before you start painting. Let's remember to use proper brush technique. We are going to pet our paper and remember to blot your paintbrush in between colors to try and keep some of our watercolor paints nice. As you can see here, I'm just smoothing over. I'm using lots of water today. I'm using a wet technique because these are watercolor paints. So the more water I use, the easier it's going to be to smooth that pigment around my paper. If you made sure to press down hard enough with your wax crayon, your secret image should be showing up any minute. I hope in my picture you can see I've put 4 crosses, one in each quadrant of the image, and I put a big clover in the middle to remind me of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Now I see some of my picture might be getting little puddles, so I'm just taking my paper towel and dabbing it to make those puddles go away. Here's a close-up of my image. Well, I hope today you've learned a little bit about St. Patrick and that you've enjoyed this art process of resist painting. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon.